Okay guys, so the car. Right, if you're doing the car, I'm going to say what I said in the health video, which might be worth watching by the way, so you can get a different sort of opinion on it. So if after watching this you're still 100%, try watching the health one, alright, okay? Um, right, level 3, you need to have two sets of data which have 50 data entries in each, so you're comparing at least 100 pieces of data, pardon me, all together, okay? Right, the data you compared. Let's open up the Vauxhall car details, alright? Okay, the data you actually choose, it's up to you. It depends what you've chosen to investigate. Let's decide you have chosen to compare the fuel efficiencies of Vauxhalls against the fuel efficiencies of Citroens. I mean, I'm hoping you're doing something a little bit more sort of in depth than that, but whatever, okay? Um, like what affects the fuel efficiency, like the weight of the car, for example. Right, so first things first, you need to make a stratified sample because, as we've covered in class, you can't just pick like the first 50 voxels because that's not a fair representation of the whole sample, and you can't just pick any random 50 because, well, how random are you? You need to have a way of doing it, okay? Right, so first things first, whenever we do a stratified sample, we always do the number in the group divided by the total, and we times that by our sample size. In this case, it's going to be 50, okay? So we need to know how many there are all there together. Here's a quick little trick that works in my Excel. I don't know about yours, there'll probably be an alternative. Highlight the first one, go all the way down to the bottom, highlight that, 1354, okay? In the Vauxhall spreadsheet. Now, you can't just pick any 50. Because in a minute I'm going to show you how to randomize the list. And if you randomize it and then just pick the first 50, you know, it's perfectly possible, pardon me, that you end up with all the small engines, okay? You need to stratify it. So we need to have something else to stratify it by. Now, I don't know how much you know about cars, but a good way to divide cars up is by their engine size, because their engine size really sort of dictates their performance. I mean, weight and everything comes into it, but engine size is the big thing, okay? So, we're going to stratify them by engine size. We're going to pick 50 Vauxhalls, and we're going to stratify them by engine size. So, how many 1 litre engines are there? Oh, by the way, normally I would suggest doing groups, like how many the engine size between 1 to 1.5, but if you look at the engine sizes 1, 1.2, 1.3, 2, 2, hang on a sec, my bad. Okay, first of all you're going to want to sort it so that you get all the same engine sizes together. Engine, smallest to largest, there you go. So look, 1 litre, 1.2, 1.3, you see what I mean? There's no point grouping them because it's pretty tight as it is. Okay, so how many 1 litre engines are there? There are 37 1 litre engines, and there's 1,354 altogether. So, oh, that's not 3. 37 divided by 1,354 equals, and our sample size is going to be 50, so we times by 50. So that means we have to pick one 1 litre engine. So that's what we do. We pick that one. Do we pick that one? Do we pick that one? We don't know. We need something else. We need random numbers. So we're going to insert a column. Right click on column A and then go to insert. Go alongside the top value and type this in, equals rand, open close brackets, press enter. That generates a random number and you're going to drag that all the way down. There we go. So that every Vauxhall car is assigned to a random number. Okay. Now you're going to sort it again. You're going to add in that random number, which is column A. and sorted it again. Now they've been randomized, and you just pick the first one because it's been randomized. Just pick the first one. Okay? Repeat the process for the 1.2 litre engines. All the 1.2 litre engines are together because if we go back to our sort thing, we're sorting it by the engine size and then the random numbers. Yeah? So it keeps all the engine sizes together because that's the first priority. And once it's sorted by engine size, then it sorts them by that random number, okay? So there you go. That's how you do it. So for the next step, you'd see how many 1.2 litre engines there are. There's 111. So you do 111 divided by 1354 times by 50. That tells you how many to pick. It's already randomized now because we've had those random numbers in. Say the answer was 3, so you pick the first 3. Okay? Once you've done that, as you go, highlight the ones that you've picked, alright? Let me just highlight some random ones, okay? So the ones that you've ended up picking, you highlight, okay? And then in the end, delete the ones you haven't used. And so you'll have a list that's 50 long, stratified by engine size, and then print that out and bring it into school with you. And then do the same for another brand of car, so the Ford or the Citroen, so then you have 2 sets of data, both with 50 entries, pardon me, and that should be alright. Now, I'm not telling you to do it that way, that's just one idea. It all depends on what you're doing. Let's say you wanted to investigate petrol versus diesel, you need to pick 50 petrol cars and 50 diesel cars. I'll leave it up to you to think about how to stratify that. It all depends on what you want to do. Okay? Alright, good luck with that.